Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to BWTM Sports Gaming. We have special guests in the house. If you watch the intro, you'll see the man on the left, Andy Gill. Coach Andy Gill, how are we doing, Andy?
I'm all good, thank you. Yeah, very well, very well.
It's been a while, but I'm glad I got you. And the man, the running man, they call him, Jamie Smith, the exclusive. We finally got him. 2 years in waiting almost, but we got him.
It's
Jamie, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. You?
I'm good. I'm glad to have you on the show. So, first of all, obviously, people do know Andy, but just to reintroduce yourself, Andy, we know that you're a coach. Just give us a little rundown, spills as to who you are.
Andy Gill. I started off as an amateur coach. I don't know, probably 20 odd years now. Jamie's been with me 9 years. I started my own gym up about 5-6 years ago. Turned pro with Jamie because Jamie wanted to turn over, and yeah, the journey's just been it's been a hard road, uphill battle, but you know, it's we're getting there. I've got a nice stable of pros now. I've got 6 pros in the stable. We've got about 15 amateur boxers now, which will be going out in September. And that's it. Yeah, we're just COVID. We're just rebuilding after COVID.
So, for those people who don't know where your gym is and the name of your gym, please, Andy.
It's Evolve Boxing Academy is the amateur part, and then Evolve Elite is the pro part, and it's in Amersham in Buckinghamshire.
Okay, so can you give us a little bit of time introduction to the times for your amateurs and how they'd have to join and how it works for pros?
Yeah, the amateurs are usually on a Monday and a Thursday night at 8 p.m. It's about an hour and a half long, both sessions, and then we do another one on a Sunday at 10 a.m. And I try and mix them up with the pros. The pros come in whenever it's in their slots. So, you know, most days they're in. Jamie's in usually 5-6 times a week.
Okay, fantastic. And in terms of pros, are you looking to sign up more pros, or are you quite happy with gym now?
I'm always looking because people, the pros are like the amateurs. People come in, they see it a certain way, and then it's not the way they planned it. You know, it's being a professional boxer. It's a job, so it puts a burden on your family, puts a burden on your kids. It's, you know, it's hard work because you've not just got to work. You know, if you haven't got, you know, Eddie Hearn and all that behind you, you've got to sell tickets, and it's a really hard game. So, you know, all my pros still work. You know, Jamie's in a full-time job. He's got 2 children. He's got a partner. He wants to be a professional. He is a professional boxer, and he has to juggle it all. And it's hard. So a lot of people get to the stage of being a pro and then think, flipping out, I didn't realise it was this hard. Then they got to sell tickets on top of that.
Yeah,
you know, people will fade out. So I'm always looking. You know, and I don't want an established pro boxer. I want someone who's fresh to the game. That, you know, that I can take a bit, you know, they've come from the amateurs and I can start teaching them the way I do things.
Okay. I'm not blowing your trumpet, but I have to say this in terms of, as a man to man, I've got the absolute utmost respect for you as first a man, never mind a trainer, a man. Because I think that's very important, because people listen, they don't listen to what I say, and the sort of quality type of coaches that I talk with, and I put you up there with those coaches. People don't know of you yet, but quality stands out.
I like it
for now, but you know, quality stands out, and
Thank you.
Regardless of whatever happens at this tournament, right? I still think you're a very, very, very good coach. Very good coach. What hasn't been seen yet. So I put, for whatever it's worth, I put my name towards you, Andy Gill. And I
Thank
want
you.
people
Thank
after
you.
watching you to really look at Andy Gill. I had a little bit of time to spend with Andy while I was still in the facility, as they say. And just by talking to Andy, by watching Andy, and then being up close with other trainers, such as Peter Fury and James Elliott Bashir, to name 2 trainers already that people know. Our coach Andy's up there with them. He's up there with them, and I have to say this because coaches put in a lot of time and a lot of effort, and there's a lot of unfortunate and a lot of ungrateful people out there, right? And we always want to celebrate a coach when everything's great and everything's fantastic. Oh, he's a great coach, but they don't understand the development, the grassroots development, and what they do to get there. We've got a lot of these coaches today I call celebrity coaches, where they've got an established fighter and then they jump next to the established fighter and then they're suddenly a brilliant coach. Well, Andy, you're doing it from the grassroots. And for that, I have to give you full credit for that. And the way I've seen you manage your fighters and the way you care for your fighters is testament to who you are. So I want to say that. And I think it's important, very important. And boxing fans around the world, you know where I'm at. You know how I speak, and you know so far the sort of people that have come through this channel. You've seen the fighters that have come through this channel, that when people paid them no mind. How many fighters have you known that's come through this channel that have gone on and done things like gone on to be undisputed, gone on to be multi-weight champions? When people were routing them off and had nothing to say about them. When people talk about Peter Fury, they didn't know who he was. Look what he's gone and done. So I want to say that I want you to look at Andy Gill and spend time and watch Andy Gill and really soak up who he is as a coach. I think a lot of you people doing your podcasts, get this man on. He's a wealth of boxing knowledge. Right. Sorry, Jamie, about that. I'm sorry. I know you're the man and we've got to talk to him. We'll come straight to you in a minute. But yeah, so that's my plug. Andy, send the 50,000 over afterwards, mate. Thanks a lot. So moving on. Jamie, the man of the moment. So, as Coach Andy has said, he's been with you from the start, right? So yeah, let's learn a little bit more about you. I know that I believe English title, correct, that you've got or you won. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
Go ahead. So tell us a bit about you.
Again, I started from amateurs in High Wycombe about 9-10 years ago. Met Andy, and I've been with him ever since. And as I say in my interviews with Sky, he took me from a boy to a man, not only in boxing, but in life. I had 2 children. He knew me before I had children, but I had a girlfriend, and yeah, here we are 10 years later. On Sky. And it's been a great journey.
I remember saying to Andy, I said, stick with it. Your opportunity is going to come. Here's that opportunity. So I know High Wycombe very well. I used to live in Wycombe for many years, and I worked there for a while, so I do know Wycombe very well. Tell me, why are you in boxing?
Why am I in boxing?
Yeah, why are you in boxing? Everyone's got a motivation as to why they box. Why do you box?
Ultimately, to do better, to be better as a human being, as an individual. To make my life better, to make my family's life better.
Fantastic. And talk to me about your relationship with your coach. What is it that made you stick with Andy and not say, right, I'm going elsewhere? What is it? Because
he stuck with me, and throughout my amateurs, highs and lows, he was there. Personal life, he was there. If I was having bad moments, he'd be on the phone. He'd ring me, he'd call me, make sure I was okay. And he stood out, amongst all the other trainers. And yeah, and my loyalty lies with him.
Right. So obviously the boxer tournament is here. Sky Sports. The last guy we spoke to on here, RYLAN CHARLTON, he got to the final. He's a regular on the channel. So now we're looking at you. It's now up to you. So talk to us about your thoughts. How did you get into this tournament? How did your name crop up? I know you're a cruiserweight, obviously, but how did your name get into the mix?
Steve Goodwin, who is my promoter at the moment.
Yes.
We have a good relationship with him. and you know, he's seen me in my first 3 fights, and he was impressed with what I'd done. And you know, obviously, I think he heard about it first from Sky, and he's the one that chucked my name in the hat. And obviously, him and Andy spoke, and yeah, we you know, we grabbed it with both hands when he presented it to us. So yeah, we're just excited to be accepted for it.
Fantastic. You know, you would not know this, but I saw your first pro fight.
Oh, I don't like that.
But I saw if your first or second pro fight I was there, I saw you had quite a good little fan base there. Actually, I was sitting there.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah.
Two ladies I was sitting next to, and they're like, "Yeah, we're in for Jamie Smith." I said, "Who's that?" I said, "Yeah, he's coming out, James from Jamie Smith." And I was like, "Wow, it's all right."
They were the only two. They were the only two.
Hold on, they went to our sitting next.
We only sold 2 tickets.
No, you've got a good fan base. That was good. So yeah, I was actually impressed by your fan base. It was 2 ladies that caught my eye, but yeah, they yeah. So yeah, that's why. But anyway, moving swiftly on. Yeah, so your fan base. Tell us why you think that your fan base are behind you.
Yeah, well, I've only recently seen from the message I get, the phone calls I get, how behind me they actually are, you know. And it's you know what, it's through, I think, my perseverance throughout the years. You know, there's been times where I lost and I'm down, and you know, I'm always I'm negative on myself and stuff like that. And people probably think, why do you do it? But you know, they see me stick at it, you know, grit it out, and I'm here, and you know, they've seen my lows, so they're with me on my highs as well.
He's exciting to watch. He's got an exciting style. It's it can be very aggressive. Skill levels. He's got everything in the bag. Everything possible.
So Jamie, when you look at the other men in the room,
yeah,
where do you see yourself in that room when you look at those other guys those other cruiserweights? Have you sparred with any of those other cruiserweights first and foremost?
Yeah, I sparred an East Side about 5-6 years ago when I had about 10 amateur bouts. Because I was down the club for a while, so he was the sparring partner there. But other than that, I don't really know any one of them. But with regards to where I see myself in a room with them, it doesn't matter to me. They're all the same. You know, they're just opponents at the end of the day. And I'm sure they'll probably look at me thinking the same. But on the night, we're going to see who's the best, aren't we?
Did you get to see the lightweight competition by any chance? The boxer lightweight?
Yeah, I did. That was exciting. That was good. I don't quite believe like
that. So what did you take away, yourself and Andy, from that tournament?
You know what? Watching the winner, who was the winner? I forgot his name.
Yeah, he was good. He was good.
He was wicked throughout. He was good to get the stoppage in the first. I think that gave him the gears in the second and the third fight. And also, I don't think Ryan Charlton done himself any favours, as I think, you know, he's all guns blazing. And you see that in the first fight, he had a tough first fight, and he started dipping in the second fight. So I knew he'd fade in the third. Whereas obviously the winner boxed lovely throughout, you know, putting his combinations together, rolling shots off the rolls, and getting his shots off, you know, nice clean shots. So he deserved the winner.
In a tournament like that, regardless of the tournament, or you know, if it's a 4, 6, 8, 10 battle, whatever it is, or 3 threes, whatever it is, you need to work on a game plan. Boxing's technical. We can all go out and wade like a pub fight, but it's going to catch up. You are going to catch shots. If you put your defenses down and you fly shots in, you are going to get caught with something. So I'm a great believer in, even with my amateurs, is to have a good form. You need good form, regardless of what it is. You know, if we have to have a tear up, we still need to protect ourselves.
Yeah. Going back to RYLAN CHARLTON, I actually thought that the guy that won the tournament had more time to rest. I don't even caught that. He got more time to rest.
Yeah, that's true. That probably played a part in it as well. But again, it's like Andy was saying, it's a game plan, and this is how we've approached it in our camp. You know, we've trained around how it's going to be, and obviously we know fight night, even before you fight, it takes some out of them. but you know, we're not naive to the fact that it's going to be a tough night.
Yeah, and I've studied every fighter over and over, and every single fighter that's in this tournament. I know we'll only get, you know, 3, because we're not going to, you know, I'm not going. I haven't trained Jamie to play. My intentions with all the training I've done with anybody is we're a winning outfit, and we train to win. You know, so I've studied everybody 100%, and the training camp has gone. It's probably one of the best camps we've ever had. Jamie is on top form. And I'm not saying that to please the public or please the camera. He is on top form. Everything about the camp has been 100%, every single thing we've done.
In terms of sparring partners for this, have you been able to get the sparring partners necessary to
Yeah. We brought in, we had about 3 or 4 sparring partners. And we looked after them all. They come down on a regular basis. We had we actually bought a lightweight in, so light heavy, so for speed. So you know, it'll keep Jamie on his toes a little bit more. We had people who have been more ploddy. We had people who put him under pressure. You know, we've had people who were fighting on the back foot. So we've looked at every channel.
I know you talked about his punching power to me before, Andy. You were a believer of Jamie's punching power yourself, Jamie. Your thoughts?
I agree with it.
I
hit hard. I don't know. I hit hard. I just feel
with both hands.
So is it? Would you say it would be in your best interest to get guys out there as quick as possible, so you've got enough time to rest?
Yeah. I'd love to knock everyone out in the first round.
Yeah, but if you go with that intention and you go with that mindset, you're going to make life hard for yourself, because with knockouts come loaded punches. With loaded punches comes, you know, you're reducing energy levels. So you have to be calculating. You have to know when to throw that punch, when not to, how to open that punch up, you know, how to feint. You have to drag people into your story. You have to drag them in and then execute what you've been rehearsing. You know, so it's yeah, he'll be cute, put it that way.
So the luck of are you guys dealing with a luck of a draw here, like, or would like to fight this guy first and then possibly?
No, we've like I said, we've studied all 7. If you start having that mindset of being afraid of losing this tournament, to Jamie hit the nail on the head, I've treated everybody the same. So we're not taking anybody for granted. We're not underestimating anybody. Our defenses are going to be tight. Our boxing IQ is going to be good, and we're going to execute what we've been rehearsing. We're not underestimating anybody, but we're ready for everybody.
How are you gonna? Obviously, usually when you go and box, you fight at a certain pace, and I think RYLAN CHARLTON found that very quickly by the first fight. I think he blew his load in the first fight, to be honest, and he came into the second fight. You could see, as you said, he was dipping. How are you going to be able to make the adjustment from not blowing yourself up because of all the anxiety, the big stage, the sky, that
comes with it, and I've just got, you know, it's water off a duck's back at the end of the day. It's you know what I anticipate, and I've got to dictate the fight. I'm going to, you know,
control.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to control it.
It has to be his pace. If he gets into that ring and lets someone else take that straight away, then he's on the back. He's the one trying to catch him up. He'll have to put more energy and he'll have to burn more. So, you know, if someone's got a strong jab, we need to take that jab away. You know, if someone's got a big backhand, we have to avoid that big backhand. You know, and all that's been taken care of in camp. Every single scenario that we can imagine.
The most important thing, it's not so much the camp, it's what theme tune are you going to come out to? Are you going to come out to I'm a Barbie Girl in a Barbie World?
Yes. Hey, Bigfoot, that's his song.
Now we got one for the Manchester fans to start with, you know. Get
Which
on my
Manchester?
side.
Wait, hold on. Which Manchester fans?
What do you mean? All
The
Manchester.
blue or the red?
No. In terms of music, so it's just a night. It's Bugsy Malone.
Yeah, it's Bugsy Malone because it's from Manchester, and obviously there's going to be a lot of people from Manchester there, and yeah, you know.
Okay, absolutely fantastic. When you see yourself, like you visualize yourself, you know, walking down the aisle, you've seen other guys do that walk, Jamie. When you visualize yourself, you're there, and what will go through your mind as you're coming out to fight your first fight in the boxer tournament? Your name's being announced, Jamie Smith, and you're there, and the crowd is roaring. What's going through your mind? Are you thinking,
It's adrenaline, isn't it? I'm constantly pumping. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm going to be ready for it. And it's my first fight is a final. My second fight is a final. Every fight that I go into is a final. Because if I don't win that fight, I'm not getting through. So every single fight has to be my final fight in my mentality.
Now, studying the winners of these tournaments, what do you think has been key for them?
Various things, because you get big punchers, you know, who fights early, giving them enough time. You get high good work rate guys like the Chima, that's his name, the one that won the lightweight recently. His work rate was phenomenal, you know. So it varies really, and it's just about implementing your game plan.
Okay, fair enough. Talking a bit outside of obviously the boxer tournament, the cruiserweight, the British cruiserweight, world cruiserweight division. Talk to me about that and where Jamie Smith sees himself down the line.
Down the line, I was thinking how funny you said this. I was thinking about it earlier. Within the next couple of years, European fringe world title. That's in the next couple of years. That's where my targets are. And then obviously beyond that is world titles pending. So, you know, but to start with, obviously we look for English titles, British titles, you know, get all our accolades and do our bits we need to domestically to push us to the next level.
So
I'm a believer, sorry, I'm a believer of don't jump it, you know. Every belt is a southern area is an important belt, you know. English, British, every single belt's really important, and it will help you elevate step by step, and that's what any profession should be about. Is don't go from A to B at 300 miles an hour. Take your time, build it slowly, and get something solid. So I want them, when they do quit boxing, that they can say, I've got a southern area, I won the Contender Series, I've got an English, I've got a British, you know. And even if they only get that far, they've achieved. There's so many boxers out there that they don't get the chance to achieve.
I'm glad you said that, because yesterday I had a discussion with on the channel. I said that British, Commonwealth, European, world, and when you go through those belts, the different challenges that you face, and back in the old days, that meant something. You won your British title, you're glad. Okay, can he win the European? And he might get a little scare in the European, he might get rocked in the European. And then you think, okay, can he jump from European to world? And he might go out there and blast the guy at world level. Think, all right, he's at world level now. Can he jump again from world level to actually be a world champion? So you follow the journey right through. I think that's beautiful. But it's beautiful to see that. Yeah, I detest, I hate when I see a guy who's not even for a British level fighting for a world title. I hate it because okay, he may get that world title, he may win that world title, but then he's got to defend that title, and he's in a world where he can't go backwards. He can't say, "Oh, well, I want to go back and win." So you're in a pool of sharks then. Huh?
Yeah, definitely.
And it's not great. So, and I see a lot. I see a lot of fighters that they win these, they get opportunities to get contracts, and then they get the contract and they're like, "Yeah, I want the contract." Got the contract, and the contract says, "Right, you've got to fight the guy who's the Olympic gold medalist next," or you end up becoming the stepping stone when you thought you were the guy because you won the contract. You end up being the stepping stone. How do you, Andy, guide Jamie's career that doesn't happen to him?
I try and ground reality. I'm very about keep your feet on the ground, don't jump the gun, and our day will come. Like this tournament, our day will come. I have to give a big thanks to the Goodwin group, Steve Goodwin, and Kevin, who works with Steve. He's really pushed this, and I think if you've got the right management team behind you, the right coach, the right student, you're a force. You're a force to deal with. So for me, it's about keeping it real. You've got to keep it real. If I start saying to him, is he ready for a world title? No, he's not. Why is he ready? Because he hasn't experienced enough yet. He needs to experience. A Southern area will give him experience. An English British will give him experience. The Commonwealth European will give him experience. Then, yes, could I sit here right now and be honest to myself and say, is he ready for a world title? No. Can I sit here and say, do I think he'll get a world title? Yes.
Now, it's a common thing that Sky say. As soon as a guy wins a fight, it looks spectacular. So when are we going to see him? When we can see him in a world title fight? I'm like, Jesus, the guy's just fought up, just won the British title. And you're talking about when he's going to fight for a world title. I said, what's going on there? It seems to be a script. And then fighters feel pressure to answer that question. Within six months we'll be looking for a world title shot. I said, really? Okay, your development must be really quick for that to happen.
They will.
How do you now you've got lights, camera, action? The Sky team have come to find out who Jamie Smith is. How have you had to deal with that? The media side of things, Jamie.
That's just part of it. I don't think about it too much. If I thought about it too much, it might overwhelm me. So it's just a byproduct of what I'm trying to achieve.
Yeah. Can I just add? Sorry, Jay. Can I just add something to that? Someone who knows Jamie and knows me through the amateur club watched his interview today on Sky, and they said to me how mature and grown up he has become. He's become a man. Under me, with me, we've grown together, and that's a part of coaching people don't see. Is coaching's more than holding pads and
absolutely,
and doing strength and conditioning. Sometimes I'm his dad. Sometimes I'm his big brother, his uncle, whatever it is. And no matter what's going on in his life, I'm always there for him. And without a shadow of a doubt. There was a little incident the other day. I'm not going to go into it because it's personal to him. But I went. I cancelled everything and went, because that's what being a coach is more than that. And that's what I and that's why I don't brag. That's why I don't paint myself a big picture and Andy's this, Andy's that, because the journey's about Jay. When Jamie wins a title, then people can say, like yourselves, can go, well, he was trained by Andy Gill. Him winning it, getting there. This is Jamie. This weekend is Jamie. Nothing to do with me. I just want to make sure that he's dressed the right way, that he performs the right way, that he handles himself the right way. And I haven't got to mother him. It's been done. In 9 years we've been together, it's done. He's ready for this. This stage of his career, he's ready. And he's handled the Sky interview. I was in tears watching him. I actually cried because I was so proud of the way he handled himself and how articulate he was. I was blown away. And the interview come out today and he sent it to me. I sat in my flat earlier on today crying with pride that, he's not just a boxer. He's like my son. He's my flesh. He's my family, my flesh and blood. That's the way I look at all of them.
That's why I think what I said at the beginning of the interview, the beginning of this conversation, I said what I said, because what I've said then, you are now just kind of repeating what I said, but in your own words now, into your character and who you are as a coach stroke mentor. I think it's important. There are a lot of guys who hold pads, but they're not mentors. And that makes a difference between a coach and a mentor. And I think there's very few teachers in boxing today. There's a lot of trainers, but very few teachers. And it takes a teacher to be able to step outside the box of, oh, I'm in the gym, I'll see you at 5 o'clock, whatever issues you got, you deal with it, and I'll see you at 5 o'clock. Not my problem. There are coaches like that. And then there are teachers. And Mr. Gill, you are a teacher for sure. Jamie, did you want to mention anything about that?
I think, me fighting Saturday, I think it'll just be a testament to what he's done with me over the years, and my boxing ability will speak for itself, and which will reflect on his coaching.
Andy, when people see Jamie Smith, are they going to say it's the Gill way, or it's just, is it the Gill way? Emmanuel Stewart had let's say the Crunk way, it's just the Gill way.
It's Evolve Elite. So Jamie naturally he'll move a certain way, he'll do certain things. There's things that I will like and I won't touch, and there's things that I won't like and I'll have to rearrange. And there's certain movements, there's certain things Jamie does that I haven't even taught him. There's things that he does and I like them. I'm not going to say too much because I know he's going to pull a few of these off on Saturday. But that I will enhance. The bits he struggles with, I will teach. And then, he'll learn. But Saturday, when Jamie fights, Jamie's the one in that ring. Jamie, I'm not there with a remote control. I can't control what he's going to do. He has to control his emotions. He has to take on board all the information that he's taken from me over the 9 years. And hopefully, in them 9 years, I've rounded him. That when he gets on that big stage, that everything will be, right, I've got to breathe. This is what I've got to do. Got to keep my defenses. I've got to throw my jab, work my way in. Don't let them control me. Don't let them do this. And he will, hopefully, the way we've trained, everything will be in slow motion for him. He won't be in a rush. He will, but in here, he won't be. He'll be thinking. And he'll be looking, and he'll be setting up what he wants to do in the next 30 seconds.
Fantastic. The decision to enter the boxer tournament versus staying out of the boxer tournament and just waiting and just biding time for just to box and just keep doing what you're doing steadily. How was it? Was that a no-brainer to jump into the tournament?
It was a no-brainer. I don't, like Andy was saying earlier, we have to flog all these tickets. It's graft after you've been working, or you run in the morning, you go to work, you come to train, you go home. On top of that, you've got to sell tickets. So I think, regardless, I wanted to get to a stage where I was going to be fighting 50-50 fights. It's come a lot sooner than we anticipated, but we took it with both hands because this is what we got to do to be the best we can.
3 fights, 3 50-50s. He'll be 6-0. He'll go up the rankings, and hopefully Sky, Steve Goodwin can go, wow, this kid, there's something about this kid. Let's get him a couple of more fights on TV. Let's do this, let's do that. And that's all, that's all we can aim at. But it's for me, I think one night, 3 opponents, a lump of money. He hasn't really had to sell any tickets, and he's going to go from 3-0 to 6-0.
In terms of work commitments, obviously you're working full time. Have you been able to have time off to dedicate for this tournament?
No, however, they're flexible. So, I've been getting to work later, been finishing a bit earlier. They're behind me as well. So they have been flexible.
Fantastic. That's great to hear. Opportunity now to talk about sponsors. If you've had any sponsors, please mention if you've had any sponsor or you want to give anybody.
Right, we got Landscape Gardening.
Matt from Landscape Gardening. Yep, and that's Jimmy and Billy and Lewis. They're a family outfit. Dean is DES. Construction. And then there's 9. Is it 9 Red? 9 red, and that's red 9. And that's Hammond, and then what about your lot is HS Group?
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
Fantastic. I'm really glad to hear the story so far, and I'm really looking forward to the story. Is it this weekend, right? Is this weekend, right? Isn't it?
Saturday. So the draw's on Thursday.
Right.
The weigh-in's on Friday, and the fight's on Saturday. It's on Sky, 7 p.m.
Right.
What do you think about it?
Final question. Weight making. How's it been for you as a cruiserweight?
Easy.
I've been about 6 weeks. I was 95, 96 kilo. Yeah, it's naturally fed off me.
So what's your walk around weight, Jamie?
I walk around probably about 93, 94.
How much does that work out in stones?
Stone, probably about 15, just over 15 stone.
So you could technically make heavyweight. I mean, you know, looking on.
Yeah, but he would be a light heavyweight. He wouldn't have. He wouldn't have mass behind him.
I mean, obviously, over the years, if we do bulk up and get to 16, 6.5 stone, well, go for a heavyweight, then why not? You know?
So Bridget weight, is that something you would look at as well? Because that's the next one up, isn't it?
Yeah, why not? What's that? What's the maximum weight there? 98, 99?
I think something like that, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, why not? That's it. You know, where we go where there's opportunity.
One more question I've got to ask. Jamie, what would be your dream fight? If you could have any fight in the world, where would it be and who would it be against?
Where are we talking? What fight? Current fighters or history?
2. Current fighters, and historically.
Current fighters, I would say Canelo.
Oh,
because
okay.
I see what Bivol done to him the other day. I'm not saying I could do that.
I do want to say that Bivol was an actual guest on our show. Sat down, spoke to for about 30 minutes. We spoke to Bivol before anybody had any belief in Bivol. Yeah, so I just wanted to say, and we.
Do you know the beauty of him?
Yeah.
Simple boxing.
I love the
arms.
straight.
Nothing complicated. Don't wrap yourself up in a load of rubbish. Load of defenses, you know, half a dozen defense moves and doing that for one shot. He was clean, precise, and the jab was on point.
So I know my boxing. I put Bivol. It was up there. So there you go. And he did the business against Killer, which I expected. So very happy. Sorry, I don't want to go too
much
about the
past.
And past. Oh, no, I'd love to get beat up by a band of Holyfield defense.
I knew you were going to
say You would like to get beat up by a band of Holyfield?
Listen,
maybe they would have been up.
Yeah,
that would have been
what a man to get beat up. What a man to get beat up by. You're going to get beat up by some combination.
That's what I tell the grandchildren, couldn't I?
Yeah, oh God, wow. Get beat up by a band of Holyfield.
Ask you a question. Jamie wants to ask you a question. Ask him.
Go ahead, Jamie.
What do you think about it? What do you think about this? What do you think about boxing?
What do I think about the tournament? I don't care about the tournament. I just care about you because you're the guy I know. So
What do you think of the concept of the tournament? The concept of the tournament.
I find it like it's an opportunity for obviously boxers to make some money and get exposure. Yes.
Open doors. Yeah, that's the way we look at it.
Yeah, but I don't know if that concept actually says, well, because you've done that, you can win a world title.
Yeah. No, we totally agree with that.
I think you have to put it in its own category, and just say, right, okay, go out there and show adaptability. Can you adapt? Are you able to adapt? Fine. And you know, I think, and I will say this, I think the luck of the draw is key. I personally opinion, I think the luck of the draw is key. That guy who fought in the final, he had more time to rest than the other guys. I think that's key. He can fight. Don't get me wrong, he can fight. But the little bit of extra rest he got was key. So I think if you get, for example, the first fight you get is the toughest guy. in the draw. In a way,
Yeah.
that's good because once you get him out of the way, you know the guys that come along are not so bad. But that works the other way as well because I beat the baddest guy in the tournament. You can lose concentration with the next two guys. You think, well, I beat the best guy. The next guy could.
Yeah, let your guard down.
Yeah, and you get cut.
That won't happen. That won't happen with us because I will not let his guard down. Yeah.
Good. So that's so things like that are about the competition. I love the competition. It can be very explosive, and if you're a big puncher, you can get guys out of the quick, bang bang. I mean, that's fantastic. But I just think that it's a competition in its own self, and I think that you got to say, right, let's see how you do here, enjoy it, make the most of it. But that I don't think that competition should write off a boxer's career. That's what I think. I think you go in that competition, you do well. Actually, I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think a fighter that enters that competition should get professional rankings out of it. Because that's my personal opinion now. Because I think you get a loss in a tournament like that, and you might not be suited to that competition. And because you've got that one, because we're in the era we're in of the unbeaten record, you get one next to your name, you now become a guy that people may go, he's not that good. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Which is rubbish.
Yeah, it is rubbish. It is absolute rubbish.
I don't agree with that at all. And that's why I respect Canelo. He lost. Yeah. He got outclassed, but he took the risk.
Exactly.
And that's what life's about.
Exactly. That is exactly what I'm saying. So it's just the culture and the culture in today. If we were in 10 years, 15, 20 years ago, where a loss didn't matter, it was like you just came back. A tournament like this, it doesn't matter. Then it doesn't matter on your professional record. But because of the era we're in now, it's all about unbeaten records and this and that. And it's pretty frivolous. I think that if people judge this tournament and say, well, because he didn't do well here, he's not a good boxer. And I think like the amateur system and the pro system, some guys fighting the amateurs, but are better pros than they are amateurs. You know what I mean? And some guys are great amateurs, but when they turn pro, they're absolute garbage. Do you understand what I'm saying there? So I just think the tournament is what it is. But the fact that I understand the benefits of obviously you get the 3 fights and you get yourself up the rankings. Yeah, it's great. And the money you're making is great. And that's if you're successful in it. If you're not successful in it, I always look at that side and think, So of course, I'm just slightly concerned about it. But overall, I think it's a great competition. And I wish you the very, very best, Jamie. And Andy, I wish you the very best as well. And I really, really, really want to see you in that final. And I want to see you winning.
You'll be there.
Got me like Chimo. Where Chimo, didn't he say it? I'm going to be in the final. And they went, oh, yeah, I'll call you up, mate. Then he got through to the next one. Oh, yeah, all right, mate. Then he was in the final. I told you I'd be in the final. He got to the final. I told you I was going to win it. And I was like, wow. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you in the final. I'm looking forward to seeing you winning the competition.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. BWTM fans will definitely be tuning in to watch you for sure. Andy, any final words?
No, I'm just from obviously thank you for everybody that's watching and that supports the channel. Everybody who's supported me along the way. But one thing I have to say from my heart is I am overwhelmed with pride for this boy. He's become a very decent young man. His boxing skills are second to none. His training ethics have changed. He puts in 100%. His respect, his manners, the way he carries himself. I'm overwhelmed with pride, and I don't. Luck doesn't come into this. This is a cert. It's a cert. What's going to happen? And I've told 2 people what's going to happen because I've dreamt about it. So we'll do another interview next week, and then we'll talk about my dream.
Sounds fantastic. Jamie, word with you. Your thoughts just before we close off now.
No, just again, thank you for your time. Appreciate it. And tune in Saturday. I think it kicks off at 7 o'clock. And fireworks. Expect fireworks.
I will say something. From pre-COVID or to now, although I've never actually had this conversation with you, I can see growth in you. The person that I kind of was going to meet and the person that I met now, I can see the growth. I can see the confidence. I can see
people.
Oh yeah. And you know why I say that? It's because I remember talking to Hughie Fury in his first pro fight, and I could see the growth between Hughie Fury and his post-pro fight, and then when he became British champion, I could see the growth there. And I'm seeing that similar growth between yourself and Andy. So keep it up, keep going. All the best Saturday night, and thank you for talking to BWTM Sports Gaming. We appreciate you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Take care.
God bless.
Okay.